The following podcast will contain spoilers and explicit language. Hello, and welcome to the inaugural episode number 1 of Yeah, It's That Bad Reloaded. My name's Jonah.
And I'm Zach.
This is the show that looks at supposedly bad movies and asks the question, is it really that bad? And what that boils down to is we look at movies that are rotten on Rotten Tomatoes and we reevaluate that score. Does it really deserve to be that low? Tonight's movie is 2006's Running Scared, directed by Wayne Kramer, starring Paul Walker, Vera Farmiga, Cameron Bright, Chaz Palminteri, and Johnny Messner. Running Scared is a 2006 action thriller and currently holds a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes. Before we get into the plot synopsis, I thought we could explain ourselves. If you are wondering what's going on here, I'm not Kevin or Joel or Martin. Yeah, It's That Bad was a podcast that ran until 2013, but I would like to think that it was a very big part of my childhood. It definitely shaped my sense of humor. It was something me and my dad really got to bond over for years and years after. And with coronavirus going on, I thought we would start the podcast up again. Joel, Martin, and Kevin, if you're listening to this, please reach out. I will leave our email at the end of the episode.
The first time I ever heard of this podcast was, I think, on our first trip to PAX, probably in like 2013, 2014. It must have been right as it was originally wrapping up. And it was absolutely hilarious, the way that their chemistry worked together and just the absolute insanity of the movies that they were talking about was pretty enjoyable, and I'm pretty glad that we get to redo this.
And so I invited my friend of, how long has it been, Zach? Almost 15 years?
Probably more at this point. It was second, third grade.
Yeah. So my friend of, let's say, almost 15 years to come do this podcast with me. All right. How about a plot synopsis?
After Joey Gazelle is placed in charge of disposing of a handgun that shot a cop, things go wrong for Joey after the neighbor's kid stole the gun and used it to shoot his abusive father. Today, ahead of the mob and the police find them first, Joey must locate the gun and the kid.
So what's your history with Running Scared?
I've heard it mentioned, and as I was rewatching it, I briefly recognized a couple of the scenes. I probably caught it on TV a couple years ago, but I had never watched it through and through, all the way from beginning to end. And
are you happy you did?
I don't know.
You're saving it for the end. Okay, good.
No, it was just such an interesting movie.
Okay, yeah. This was a movie that I think my dad introduced me to probably 10 years ago or something, and it clearly stuck with me. And it was a movie that I thought would have fit perfectly on the original Yeah, It's That Bad. And it's honestly one of the things that inspired me to restart this podcast, because I always wanted an episode on Running Scared, and when they had their premium episodes, I was going to pay for an episode. I think they were $50 each, and I was going to pay for them to do Running Scared, but they never got around to it.
And now we're doing it.
And now we're going to do it. So let's do what we always do at the top of the show. We'll discuss the actors one by one and see how you thought they did. First up, Paul Walker. May he rest in peace. Did you know he has family?
I got family.
He's got family. How did you... it's an interesting performance.
The only thing I've ever seen Paul Walker in was all of the Fast and Furious movies.
The only thing I've seen him in is the 8 Fast and Furious movies.
I know he has a couple other films. I've never personally seen them, so my only experience with him was that weird undercover cop that loved to race cars and then at some point robbed banks with cars. That was the only thing I've seen Paul Walker in other than this, and Fast and Furious was a phenomenal performance out of him compared to this.
One of my notes I have for this movie is Paul Walker yelling! Would you agree with that, or...?
Pretty much the entire movie, he's just screaming his head off in some weird accent that's some kind of Italian Bronx meets Jersey City.
We have to talk about the accent.
Some kind of weird make-believe accent that I cannot put a finger on.
Did you believe he was a Jersey Italian mobster?
Absolutely, the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
Completely drawn in.
Yo, what the fucking heck? Fuck you!
If you can make out what he was saying underneath the accent, I'm sure he had a couple of good lines somewhere in there.
And as we'll discuss later, he loves America.
He absolutely loves America.
Vera Farmiga, this is the wife. Also Italian.
Yeah, definitely some kind of Italian Jersey mobster wife. It's like a weird ripoff of The Sopranos going on in that house.
Honestly, I think she was better than Paul Walker.
Absolutely. She gave a much better performance.
Was she the best one in this movie?
Yeah, I could say that.
I'm
Out of everybody, I would wager that she did the best.
I'm willing to give that to her. Next up, and this was a recurring character on the original Yeah, It's That Bad, Cameron Bright. This is Oleg.
Fucking Oleg.
Fuck Oleg.
In my notes, I literally wrote down "fuck Oleg" in all caps.
Literally, fuck Oleg, dude. What the yo? I mean,
Oleg is the son of the Russian meth dealing making mobster that lives next door to Paul Walker.
But I've never seen a child or an actor emote less. I mean, this kid goes through hell and back in like 11 hours, and I've never seen less emotion on a face.
His face was just, it was stuck the exact, he had his normal unamused face and then the weird face of shock. And it was just those two copy pasted for the entire movie. There was nothing remarkable about that at all.
Oh, you know what? We said Vera Farmiga is the best, but I think this guy next is the best. Chaz Palminteri. He was Detective Rydell, the dirty cop.
He did actually give a pretty good performance. It was interesting.
Well, for the record, I believed he was actually Italian.
Really?
I think he gave a better fucking accent than fucking Paul Walker, bro. Oh my god.
He pulled off the the dirty cop mobster accent pretty well. That was
fucking Johnny Salami. Do you know who you're fucking with?
You know who you fucking with, you guy?
My name is Wade around here. I think he did pretty good. He gave me he gave me old detective dirty cop vibes.
When was this movie set? Was it taking place in 2006 when it was made, or was this like a...
I think so. I don't know why. Everybody was wearing like really baggy jeans and blazers over wife beaters.
And then you had the pimp character that came in for a couple scenes.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that. Holy shit. Holy fuck.
Was it Big Mac Daddy?
Stop, bro. All right, and lastly, we have Johnny Mesner, who was Tommy. Do you remember who Tommy was?
No, not even. I'm looking around.
Tommy was
Tommy was the guy in the big white blazer. Yeah. Okay.
I just want to, before we even get to his acting, yo, why did this guy say the N-word so much?
So I was about to bring that up.
He was calling Paul Walker the N-word.
Everyone was just dropping N-bombs left and right this entire movie.
There were no black people in this movie.
No, there were the two Jamaican guys that got shot immediately in the beginning and had no lines. And that's where the first N-bomb got dropped. It was absolutely bananas. Racial slurs everywhere.
I'll even excuse Tommy saying the N-word in the beginning because he's talking about the black people, so he's like a racist, so that's fine. But why is he calling Paul Walker the N-word?
Yeah,
but that's his character, like he's racist. Okay.
I don't even know,
But why is he calling Paul Walker the N-word? I don't understand it. I hated everybody. I hated his accent.
Absolutely. Everyone's accents were killing me.
All in all, pretty terrible, I think, is what we're...
Yeah,
I
don't know what was worse, the acting or the writing.
Let's get into the brief history of Running Scared. I tried to gather some information here, and honestly, I got nothing. There's nothing about this movie. So I wrote down an anecdote about the movie. Apparently, that's true. Quote, disheartened by the film's low box office opening, Paul Walker returned home for dinner, only to discover that Quentin Tarantino had left a message on his machine praising the film and Walker's performance. Walker was relieved and happy that someone like Tarantino had enjoyed the film.
I can't believe that's true. That has to be false.
I get Tarantino vibes from this movie. It's just like a bad Tarantino.
This is a high school Tarantino film.
Zach, this movie had a $15 million budget. How much did it make worldwide?
Not a lot. The trailer made the movie look a whole lot better. So especially in 2006 standards, I'm going to guess 20 million? 25 million, somewhere in there?
9.7 million. And which, across the amount of theaters it was shown in, that equaled I think it was somewhere in the ballpark of $2,000 a theater.
Wow. Okay. Is that even enough for the theaters to have made money on it after buying the rights to show it?
I mean, it cut its own budget almost in half, so.
Oh my God.
All right, so the movie opens with, and I wrote this down, a seizure. The movie opens with a seizure.
This is a 2005 music video, somehow that made it to 2 hours long. It was the most confusing shootout I have ever experienced in my life.
So the movie opens with Cameron Bright. He's getting loaded into the car by Paul Walker. He's sucking on his inhaler. He's got blood all over him, and they're driving. And then it cuts, and I have another seizure, to a bunch of people in a room. They're doing drugs, counting money, and it's 18 hours earlier. And boom, a bunch of cops come in. Or no,
These
we
are
don't. Oh,
the-
excuse me. We don't know they're cops yet. A bunch of dudes bust in, and Tommy calls them the N-word.
A whole bunch. Everybody's holding each other at gunpoint. And then Tommy goes up and says, "Oh, I don't care about these N-words." The main guy, Chaz, just turns around and shoots one of them. And then that starts this entire supercut of, I don't know, they're 5 feet away from each other and the shooting was going on for 90 seconds.
Oh, no. One of the guys cuts the heel of one of the people that bust in.
Yes. Okay. Pulled out a switchblade and sliced his ankle open.
So he's crippled. Paul Walker jumps behind a bed. How do you feel about using a bed as cover?
He jumped behind a mattress, stood it up, and then it took multiple shotgun
It took multiple
blasts
shotgun
and
blasts.
handguns, and I think there was a rifle somewhere in there of just bullets flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And everyone behind the mattress is perfectly fine.
Tommy shoots a guy in the balls.
Yeah, that was gross.
Two of the people that ran in died. There's blood. This is you know what? This is you know why Quentin Tarantino liked this movie? Because there's so much blood.
The blood and the N-word.
The blood and Quentin Tarantino loves a good N-word drop.
It's a little ridiculous.
So yeah, I can see why he liked this movie now.
And
So
then they're patting down the bodies, right? And they're checking to see who they
yeah.
are. And then that's when they find their badges. They're all undercover cops.
Tommy gives Paul Walker, or should we call him, what the fuck is his character name?
Joey Gazelle. Mr. Gazelle.
Mr. Gazelle. He gives,
What kind of name is Gazelle? What kind of name is Joey Gazelle?
it's Italian mobster. What do you mean?
You know what? I'm sorry. You're right. Absolutely.
What are you
totally
talking
right.
about?
I got cousins named Gazelle.
Joey fucking Gazelle. He gives Joey the piece that killed the cop, and he says hide it. So that kicks off the plot of this movie. Now we're introduced to our favorite character, Oleg.
Good old Oleg.
Him and Paul Walker's son are having a little smooch fest on the floor.
They're playing hockey. What the fuck?
They're kissing, they're hugging. They're kissing and kissing again. And then Oleg gets hurt and he's got a big bruise on his back.
It just
Yada, yada, yada.
Those are some horrific bruises, by the way. Oh my god.
You got it from hockey, bro.
It's just hockey.
Shut your mouth.
Go Razors.
Go Razors. And then Paul Walker comes downstairs. He hides the gun because the kids are hiding.
They're hiding behind, I think, some just random moving boxes shoved in the corner.
He's, you know how it is.
Yeah, movies.
And he hides the gun.
It was a pretty good hiding spot, honestly. They had pulled like that little panel of wood out.
Cut to Paul Walker fucking his wife on the laundry machine.
That was so disturbing.
You didn't think it was hot and heavy?
Well, he thought his son was like 10 feet away in the other room.
And it got his dick hard, bro.
Disabled grandfather, or his father, was 8 feet away from them through an open doorway.
What do you mean?
And then Joey just starts to rip her pants off and go down on her.
What are you talking about? So what's the everything you're saying are good things right now. I love fucking next to my 10-year-old son and
Jeez.
and brain dead grandfather.
Yeah, that was
Hot and heavy.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, whatever floats your boat, man.
Yeah,
Whatever
because
gets your blood flowing.
you keep being weird, and I don't know. So yada yada yada. Nothing important happens. Blah blah blah. They go Razors. Cut to Oleg's dad.
He's really creepily staring at a TV, talking about the Duke.
The Duke. Say something bad about the Duke. I dare you.
This guy has a tattoo.
What does
he
he have
has
a
a
tattoo?
John Wayne outline tattoo on his back.
Yes, he does.
He's rewatching the same film, as we come to find out, that he's seen since a child, and he begins to have like a mini mental breakdown, I'm imagining, as he's sitting there screaming at the TV for John Wayne to get up after he gets shot in the back.
We also learned that he smokes meth,
Oh, a whole lot of meth. Absolutely, he's a huge meth fan.
so that could be a factor as to.
Might have something to do with it.
So he's watching the movie. Oleg comes home. He calls him over. He slaps him around a little bit. He slaps the mom around a little.
A whole lot.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, this whole scene was just very uncomfortable for me. Honestly, it was.
What do you mean,
it
bro?
was so weird to watch.
Just ripping meth.
A dad just ripping meth, beating his
Absolutely.
wife, throwing his dinner on the floor,
Sucking it back. Oleg, our dear Oleg, comes downstairs and calls John Wayne the F word. And then Oleg shoots him.
Just right in the chest.
With a gun.
Blank,
Bang.
Shoots him in the chest.
Says, say something bad about the Duke again, and I'm going to kill you.
And then Oleg pulled that thing on him.
And then Oleg fucking he keeps it on him, and he let that thing sing. So he lets some shots ring, and one of them flies over into Paul Walker's house. It shoots the bread out of his hand, and he hates that. And here is where...
The previous gunshots didn't seem to bother him. He was slightly like,
Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, man.
And then his wife or his son, somebody was passing him a piece of bread, and the bullet whizzed through the window and hit the bread out of the air. And that's when he lost his shit.
And so starts the... Does his voice ever come down after this?
Maybe for a brief second on the phone. But it's just constant screaming from this point on.
I'll fucking kill you! You motherfuckers! I'll shut the fuck up!
So then he runs into the hallway closet and has another gun.
I mean...
This guy has guns just stashed all over his house.
This is Joey Gazelle we're talking about.
Joey Gazelle.
Joey fucking Gazelle.
Joey fucking Gazelle.
He grabs the strap, he runs over, he's ready to kill everybody in the house.
His wife comes out screaming after him, like, what are you doing? Don't go over there. We just saw somebody get shot over there.
That's light work for Joey Gazelle.
Joey Gazelle doesn't like that.
He runs in there, he clears the place out. And he talks to the dad. The dad says, he fucking shot me. And then we get one of this series of terrible edits where he's talking to Dad, and then Paul Walker goes Sherlock Holmes, and he sees the whole thing happen in his head.
That was I was watching it with Tyra, and she was trying to does he have supernatural powers? What the fuck is going on?
It's just Joey fucking Gazelle.
He is that was the perfect thing. He is Sherlock Holmes in this scene.
Yeah, he's Sherlock Holmes.
Where he's just going through and figuring out the path of the bullet, where everything is, who shot him.
He runs back to his house because he suspects that Oleg took the gun. Turns out he did. And then he almost kills his son. I mean, just fucking...
Just...
I mean, I wish I could communicate just how he's yelling. I mean, how would you describe it? I don't even know how to...
He literally threw his son against a wall, didn't he?
He throws his wife against the wall. He grabs her by the chin. I'm watching it right now. He grabs her by the chin. He's banging the walls around her. Oh, my God, dude.
He's just throwing everybody around.
So he goes back over. He's like, okay, so I know the gun's gone. That was the dirty gun. I gotta go make sure nothing happens. So he goes to the crime scene. He's sticking gum to his shoes to get the bullets off the floor.
He's trying to dig the bullet out of the wall, which was conveniently only like a half inch into the wall.
He's Inspector Gadget.
And as the cops are coming through the door, the bullet's on the floor, and then he does that whole chewing gum bottom of the boot thing.
Get the fuck away from my crime scene. I don't give a shit.
They let him stand there chewing the gum loudly for like 30 seconds.
How do you think they do this in real life? I would imagine the bullet would be so far in, they would have to buzz saw it out, right? They would cut a piece of wood out of the wall or something.
Unless that's like a brick wall in his kitchen, that he's got some really nice exposed brick vibes going on in his house. I don't know. I feel like that would have gone through that. I don't know how bullets work. I'm imagining they go pretty far through plywood or sheetrock.
What do you mean? You're white. You don't know how bullets work? What are you talking about?
I don't know how far it would go through a window, a piece of bread, and then into a wall. I'm not really sure how big of an effect that bread would have on it.
The bread might be the limiting factor.
A lot of things off here. Yeah, but I'm imagining you could just stick a random pocket knife in there and pluck a bullet out just to...
So 3 bullets. He gets 2, and then the last one is in the dad, and the dad is at the hospital. I just want to make it clear that through all this, I'm being assaulted. My eyes.
The flashing,
yes,
the cutting,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Everything is someone's shining a strobe light into your eyes at all times during this movie.
It's cutting. It's Paul Walker's sweating. He's yelling at people. I'm looking at it right now. He's got like 2 masks tied around his face. I'm looking at like 3 straps tied together. I don't know what that is. Okay.
It's a super COVID mask.
Oh,
He was ahead of his time.
What an innovator.
It's an N95 Max.
He tries to switch the bullet. He's unsuccessful. The nurse tells him to get the fuck out of here. What the hell are you doing?
She's like, why are you here? I'm
like-
amazed that nobody saw a red flag when nobody saw him digging that random doctor's outfit out of the laundry bin, then putting it on, I'm assuming, in the hallway or
All
a
right, well,
bathroom.
clearly, you've never been to a hospital. Because I've done it many a time. And that's how I get my narcotics.
Steals somebody's outfit and then walks up to a nurse like, hey, where did this gunshot victim go?
No. You got to say it in the accent.
He goes, hey, I'm Johnny Salami. Where's the fucking dead guy, huh?
Fucking GSW. GSW. I forgot. He drags his kid there.
Yeah, he makes his kid wait outside in the car.
Yeah. So they go searching around, and then Oleg meets a vampire in the park.
What the fuck was this scene?
This is just, it's just like a homeless guy that Oleg runs into in the park,
but the cutting on it made it look
dude,
like
it's like he's fucking Dracula. He's like skittering along the floor. He's all cloaked in like
everything's
darkness.
like all stop motion and like super choppy, and they're running around with shadows everywhere.
You can't see his face.
He has his hair over his face. There's fog for some reason in this random room.
It's like he ran into Satan himself. So this guy sees Oleg with the strap, and he wants to get some money for it, for what I can only assume are drugs. So he captures Oleg. He brings him to the other dark creepy murder room. That can only be 500 feet away from the first one, because they hear the gunshots.
Yeah, Johnny and what is the son's name? I don't even remember.
Nicky.
Yeah, Johnny and Nicky hear the first gunshot from some kind of vampire interaction in that dark room.
Then Oleg gets away. I have another seizure. Paul Walker gets over there. He screams in this guy's face some more.
The vampire, right?
I just want to quote. Did you find a gun? Did you find a fucking silver gun? Did you fucking find the gun? I just want to make that clear.
Except a lot louder. And
louder. I don't want to peek the mic, but louder. More. Add more. There's Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
More. So Oleg gets away, and he runs into my favorite character in the whole movie, the pimp at the gas station.
You mean Big Mac Daddy?
Big Mac Daddy, that's what we'll call him. So Oleg runs into Big Mac Daddy. He's beating the shit out of one of his girls. Oleg pulls a gun on him because he's a good guy. Oleg tries to murder this man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's keep it.
The only reason he didn't shoot this man in the face is because there wasn't bullets.
He was out of bullets, but this man was about to get blown away.
Absolutely, he just cold blood squeezed the trigger in this man's face.
So can I just run you a scenario?
Yeah.
Let's say you're, I don't know, how old do you think Oleg is? Like 11?
I think he said he was 10.
A man is coming at you with a knife. You just watched him kick a lady through a headlight. And you're about to shoot him in the face. You know you're going to do it. You're about to kill a man. Would you emote at all, or?
You would think that there'd be some form of emotion going through this child's minds. But instead, it's just the emotionless face followed by the shocked face when there's no bullets.
What?
That's it.
Shocked face is just emotionless face with
an open mouth.
His eyes get a little wide. That's about it. The pimp puts a knife to his face. He says, "I'm gonna put a smile on that face."
Very, very Joker-esque from Dark Knight.
What year did that movie come out?
I think Christopher Nolan stole some shit from this movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I believe it.
Yeah, 2008 that came out.
The man is trying to get me to go see Tenet in theaters when there's a pandemic going on. But okay, yeah. Hey, dude, I see so many ads for Tenet, and it's like in select theaters now. I'm not getting coronavirus.
I'm not going to a movie theater. Not doing it.
I'm not getting coronavirus to see Tenet. You can't make me. This guy almost kills Oleg, but then the lady that he was kicking the shit out of saves him.
Was she just on the ground unconscious? Where was she just sobbing in the corner?
She's probably writhing in pain. I don't know, bro. She got like her face kicked through a headlight.
He beat the shit out of this poor woman. He smashed.
First of all,
and then yelled at her for breaking his headlight after he just smashed her face into.
Bro, what city? I know this is supposed to take place in Jersey. What GTA ass city is this fucking movie taking place in?
No, this guy's outfit was something out of like Saints Row.
Bro,
was just...
This John is terrible. There's just murder happening all the time and fucking pimps killing people.
Nobody is batting an eye. The only cops you see in this movie are the very
bad
dirty ones.
Paul Walker's running around. He's putting guns to people's heads. He's
Seriously.
He's screaming through the night. This place is
He's
terrible.
breaking into people's apartments. He's
He's
holding
fucking-
guns in people's faces.
And I can't wait to. This movie is made all the more ridiculous by the ending. I can't wait to.
Oh my god.
The lady that saves Oleg kind of takes him under her wing. He needs asthma medication. They rob a CVS for asthma medication.
They go there trying to do the right thing, say, hey, can we just get some asthma meds, the inhaler? So then the lady pulls the gun out and waves it in the guy's face,
I will kill you if you don't give me my fucking inhaler.
and they just rob another one. No, another guy that's just not doing anything.
You think Oleg would die if he didn't have his inhaler for like 11 hours? Because he sucks that thing like.
I mean, he didn't have it for the couple of minutes in between the house where he shot his dad and then the pharmacy scene. And his fingertips were turning blue. He was super pale.
Wait, is that what that was?
Yeah, that's why he was checking his fingers.
I thought they were just dirty.
I'm imagining
The guy then he had gangrene. He was dying then.
He was that oxygen deprived that his limbs were turning blue.
His brain wouldn't work then. He's dying before our very eyes.
He's just absolutely.
Dude, it was so dark. I thought it was dirt. He's been crawling around with vampires all night. Cut to Paul Walker and the Johnny Salami crew.
The Johnny Salami crew.
They're in a strip club. There is just straight pussy in my face.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising. I was not expecting that. I was like, oh, cool, like a Sopranos-esque strip club scene. And then the
2006,
opening shot is some woman's vagina.
Straight pussy. That's why Tarantino loved this movie, bro.
Racial slurs.
Straight pussy. So anyway, they're at the strip club. They meet with the dirty cop. He reveals himself to be the dirty cop, one of the dirty cops that
That was shooting at them a couple hours ago.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't give me some money in a locker, I'm gonna blow this whole popsicle stand.
Was it $2 million, $20 million he wanted?
He wants $2 million. Joey says, "Fuck yourself. It's not the gun.
It's not the fucking gun. It's not the
It's
fucking
not the
gun.
fucking gun. What the fuck, this guy? It's not the fucking gun. I told you it's not the fucking gun."
At least his accent's pretty consistent throughout the whole movie. It doesn't like
He
fade
should
in
have
and out
just
when he's
not
screaming.
fucking done an accent, bro. What the hell?
It would have been better off.
It's not the fucking gun. And then they cut to a diner. They're in a diner now. A lot of tables sitting in this movie.
A lot of tables. They go from one meeting to another meeting.
Yeah. As
they
mobsters
just
do.
added the one mob boss. I guess Frankie was his name. I think
I don't give a shit.
they added Frankie, Johnny Salami. They had the whole gang.
Yeah, Joey Gazelle. Dude, Joey Gazelle's such a fucking funny name. Yeah. Where's the gun? Joey says it's not the gun. He says
It's not the fucking
it's
gun.
not the fucking gun. And apparently we're told that this mob boss Frankie is in a deal with the Russians, so he doesn't.
You mean the same Russian meth dealing neighbor that got shot?
Well, he's the son of the guy that they're in a deal with.
Some family ties going on here.
Come on, get your story straight. And Oleg happens to walk into the same diner.
Yeah, it's just super. Everything's happening within 20 feet of each other at all times.
So he walks in. Nikki's in the car waiting. Nikki's like, I gotta go.
Do some shit, huh?
They meet up. He says, "Give me the fucking." They need to go to the fucking bathroom. And him and Oleg meet up, and they hide the gun in the toilet.
And then they
Paul
got
Walker
Nikki
gets back in the car.
Where's the fucking gun? Where's Oleg? Who the fuck is this guy?
I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm not gonna fucking hurt the kid with the
I'm not
fucking
gonna fucking
gun.
hurt her. What the fuck? All right, I fucking promise I'm not gonna fucking hurt.
I fucking promise. And then Nikki reveals that they put it in a toilet, so they do a U-turn, and it's not in the toilet. And Paul Walker almost beats this kid to death
In the bathroom.
in the bathroom.
Throws him against the wall and starts punching the wall right next to his face.
They figure out who took the gun. It was the janitor. They go.
Paul Walker has another weird Sherlock Holmes moment where he's going through time punch stamps.
Yeah.
And then he recreates the crime scene of the gun theft.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe these were all clues
Right?
to the end of the movie. Maybe they were trying to tell us all along.
I don't know about that.
Maybe we're just too stupid to understand.
I feel like they just had a bunch of post-it notes on a dartboard and they were just throwing shit at it.
Oleg gets captured by the cops.
I just want to know why the janitor that took the gun was going into the tank of that toilet in the first place.
What do you mean?
That's not on my daily bathroom cleaning routine to go in and check the water tank on the back of my toilet.
What do you mean?
For anything that doesn't belong in there.
What do you mean?
I guess I'm the.
What are you saying?
I'm the oddball out here. I guess I don't know.
You're fucking disgusting. You don't clean the inside of the top of your tank.
Every day? No, I don't.
You're disgusting. You're disgusting.
I don't know anyone that does besides this janitor.
The Johnny Salami gang are starting to get a little suspicious of Joey Gazelle. They're pulling up to his house. They're saying, "Hey, where the fuck you going?" Tommy sexually harasses Joey's wife.
What did he say? Do you happen to remember?
He says, I remember from memory because it scarred me. He's talking to Joey. He's like, "Where you going so late?" And he turns to the wife, Trish, and he goes, "Hey, Trish, looking fucking good." And she literally, she's rightfully so, like recoils and covers covers herself.
What the fuck? And she's like covering her. I felt so just.
I'm gonna do it to you next time I see you.
Oh, please don't. Honestly, please do.
Hey, Zach, looking fucking great.
Thanks, babe.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was just the writing for his character made me really hate him. They did
He's a bad
phenomenal job
person.
at that. Everybody in this movie. Paul Walker, Oleg, Nikki. I didn't mind the wife, but she was getting annoying.
Please keep in mind, audience, that we're skipping around a lot because this movie is nonsensical and doesn't matter. The plot doesn't matter. It's about watching Paul Walker hold people at gunpoint.
Yeah, he screams a lot, holds a lot of people at gunpoint.
Which I wanted to bring up as another great moment. So he figures out who took the gun out of the toilet. He goes to get him, and he runs into the guy's wife and their child.
Oh, no, he breaks into her apartment.
And
he doesn't casually
He goes to the apartment, he kicks down the door, and he yells, "Where the fuck is Manny?" And then he puts the gun to this lady's head. She's holding an infant child.
A baby. And he's waving a gun in her face.
And he's like, "Where the fuck is Manny?" And she tells him, and he's like, and there's so many, honestly, there's always that bad because it's so funny. He goes, "All right." And she speaks Spanish. She doesn't speak English very well. And he goes, "All right, tell Manny that I'm coming. Pick up the phone. Because if you do, I'm going to come back here."
In the most offensive, broken English, just trying to...
He's got the gun to her head.
He's trying to tell her to not let her husband know that he's coming to... She doesn't know what he's going to do. He's just, "I don't want to hurt Manny. I don't want to hurt Manny."
Oleg escapes the police. Oleg jumps in the back of a van. And what's in this van, Zach?
2 children that look like they're terrified for their lives.
Right. So... I don't know. I'm sure it's nothing. We'll get back to that.
I'm sure it can't be much.
We'll get back to that. Paul Walker runs over to where Manny's supposed to be. They bust in the house. It's a card game. Paul Walker breaks everybody's fingers.
Yeah, that was nuts.
"Where the fuck is Manny? I want my fucking gun."
And then Manny's like sleeping in the corner, I imagine, or he's just high off of
No.
something.
Manny's not in even... Oh, no. You're right. Yeah, Manny's... They tell him that they lost the gun. Manny lost the gun to another guy in a card game. And that guy just walked out. Paul Walker missed him.
Yeah.
So Paul Walker runs outside to try and get him. And he gets on his knees and screams into the heavens. He goes, "Fuck! Fuck!" At God himself.
There's a bunch of people outside of this apartment complex just sitting there and talking, and then there's Paul Walker just screaming to the sky, absolutely losing his mind.
Imagine you're just like in your neighborhood, just like on your block, and just fucking guy runs through with a gun, gets on the floor, and just starts like writhing at yelling at God. Oh my God. So we cut back to Oleg. It turns out he was captured by a bunch of pedophiles.
Yep.
He got into the back of a rape van with 2 other children.
He willingly got into a van trying to hide, and then while he's hiding in there, the owners of the van, which are the most creepy people I've ever seen in a movie, open the door and say, "Oh, perfect. Let's go get him more ice cream."
Who's this guy?
We got a little straggler here. Let's get him some ice cream, get him comfortable.
They're asking the kids to give each other little kisses. They're
like, "Oh, hug each other, hold each other's hands." It's just...
And Oleg, to get out of there, very smart kid, he says, "I have to go shit myself. So
my stomach hurts. I need to go to the bathroom." Completely emotionless the whole time.
My stomach hurts. Do you have a bathroom? So Oleg, he steals their phone and he calls Paul Walker's wife. He says that he's kidnapped. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Hold on. When he's in the bathroom, the shadows on the walls.
What the fuck are those shadows? There's like a
Dude,
big
they have, like,
thing with long
They got
salad.
Jack Skellington fingers.
What the fuck is that?
It's supposed to be like the pedophiles, but what dude? Why are
It's
there
a
so many?
horror movie for 90 seconds
This
while Oleg is on the phone.
They're vampires. Jack Skellington's in this movie. They're like darting around the room, the
You ever
shadows.
see that creepy old video, Salad Fingers, on
Yeah,
YouTube?
yeah, of
it
course.
was that shit.
It was that.
It was.
And I don't know. I don't understand how these shadows are in the room because they're not in the room. The walls aren't transparent. I don't get it.
No, they're both of the.
They're outside the door knocking on it.
The mom and dad pedophile are both outside banging on the door while these creepy shadows are happening right behind Oleg on this like glass wall thing behind him.
So clearly their house is haunted because it's not them. There are separate spirits in this house.
Yeah, I don't. There's some weird supernatural vibes in this. You got the vampire, homeless, drug addict guy. You got Paul Walker being able to move through time like Doctor Strange. You have some kind of weird omniscient thing where Oleg just happens to be in the right place at every single point in time.
Oh, I think the wrong place. He gets captured by the
He's in the-
cops. He shoots his dad. He gets captured by pedophiles. Dracula tries to suck his blood. So anyway, he reads a medicine bottle. He gets the address. So
And then he fucking falls off the
yeah,
counter.
he hits his head. Oleg's a fucking idiot. Fuck him.
Fuck
right.
Oleg, man.
He gets the address. He gives it to Paul Walker's wife, and she's on her way. We cut to this is where things start to get really interesting. Storylines start intersecting here.
Yeah, this is just.
So this guy's got Paul Walker's gun, who won it in that card game, and then it so happens that he's the mechanic for Big Daddy Mac, the pimp.
Big Mac, Pimp Daddy with the big
with
fancy feather hat.
That fucking thing on him. Since he broke his headlight with that girl's face, he needs to get it fixed. So he goes to the guy, he sees he's got the strap on him, and he's like $500 for it. So he gives it up. Then Paul Walker runs up in that garage after the guy leaves.
Which, how did he find this mechanic garage? Did he get a tip on this?
That's a great.
Did they just yada yada over that and then?
That's a good point because he gets where Manny lives from the punch card.
But then that guy left,
This is a different guy,
and now he's at work for some reason at, we'll call it midnight, maybe 10 p.m. to midnight, somewhere in there.
You don't work on cars at 1 a.m.
He's back at his mechanic shop, fully dressed for work.
You're right.
And then Paul Walker just finds him. He's just the luckiest man in the world.
I'm assuming Paul Walker went back inside the apartment and tortured everybody in that room
He broke more fingers.
because this guy's a fucking maniac. So he goes, the guy shoots fire, the mechanic shoots fire at Paul Walker. He doesn't want to give him the gun. Paul Walker kills the guy, right?
He pulls out a flamethrower and they just start swinging everything around.
Oh, yeah. He said Paul Walker lights his arm on fire or his leg on fire. And
then
he says,
he's punching the shit out of him and trying to interrogate him while the mechanic is on fire.
eventually he gets it to tell him the pimp gave him the gun. Who gives a shit? I don't fucking care anymore, bro. So much is happening. This is going to be a terrible podcast because there's so much fucking shit happening. Anyway, cut back to Paul Walker's wife. She pulls up to the pedophile apartment. I just got a call that Oleg was here. Where the fuck is he? Let me inside or I'm calling the cops. And obviously the pedophiles don't want her to call the cops. So they let her in. She figures out that Oleg's there. So she looks around. She doesn't see pictures. I wouldn't have noticed that. I don't know about you.
I think that's a mom thing. She just she knew something was off because the lady was giving her a really weird vibe.
Smarter than
And
me.
then on her way out, she didn't notice any pictures of Oleg,
yeah,
just
the
any of
kids.
any kids at all.
And then she pulls the strap. Where did she get a gun?
I'm assuming from Joey's gun stash. I don't know. He had a lot of guns in that little crawl space. He had that one gun in his closet. I'm sure he had a bunch just randomly throughout the house.
Yeah, you had him in the spaghetti sauce that I would assume is perpetually boiling in the
Absolutely.
kitchen.
Constantly.
They always got a pot of gravy on. So she pulls the gun on them. She's like, "Where the fuck is Oleg?" Turns out he's in the kitchen cupboard or whatever. He's in the playroom cupboard. He's got a plastic bag on his head.
Yeah, they tried suffocating him. They
Well,
just
he was being
threw him in a
annoying. So I get it.
They put the two kids to bed and then tied
And then
a plastic bag over Oleg's head and threw him in a closet. They were like, "This
They're
is
like,
our
"All right,
only option."
Good night
This
to
is-
you two.
And
Oleg,
fuck this
get the
kid.
fuck in the closet.
And then as she pulls him out, she notices like weird scissors, surgery knives, that
there's
tarp on the
tapes.
floor, the tape, and then all of those
The recordings.
CDs or DVDs with with the children's names labeled on them. And then, which I thought was the coolest thing ever, which she totally ripped off from another movie, she calls the cops in front of the two pedophiles and says, I just heard gunshots from across the hallway, gives them the address, hangs up, and shoots the both of them.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. This woman just committed a double murder.
Yeah. Nice cat, but she saved Oleg, so all is forgiven.
Okay, literally, fuck Oleg. This is a person that has never killed anyone before.
Nah, but she's about the life, you know. She's married to Johnny Salami, for God's sakes. All right,
she's just a lady, and she. I don't know if I would have shot those two people.
the two pedophiles.
Yeah.
Absolutely, fuck them both.
Dude, just wait till the cops come.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a mom thing. We'll write it off
It's
as
double
that.
murder, dude. She's going to jail. She's going to actually.
But-
Oh no, okay, yeah. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Yeah, this movie, man, this fucking movie.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, fine. She has qualified immunity, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. So she murders these.
She
two
murders
people,
these two people.
Takes Oleg. What does she do with the two kids in bed? Does she just leave them, or
She shoots them too.
Oh, okay.
They're goners. So anyway, she meets up with Johnny Salami, fucking Joey Gazelle, and she gives him a speech about how she's never seen evil until tonight. She turns into Shakespeare,
And she tells them that she murdered two people.
and he's like, why the fuck did you just leave? Which is what I was thinking. But he's got Oleg and Nikki are playing. Oh, and then we get to nothing matters until this scene. Oleg gets in Paul Walker's car. They go for a drive because they still got to find this gun. And Oleg starts talking about what music he listens to.
Oh my fucking God.
Paul Walker's like, oh, what music you listen to? He's trying to make conversation with this kid. Hey, what fucking music you listen to? Kid goes, Kavasha. And he's,
What the fuck?
the fuck did you just say to me, you little shit? Kavasha. He goes, you're an American. You're an American, not a Russian who listens to that shit. And then Oleg goes, my mom said, this kid's like 10. My mom said I started in her belly in Russia, so I'm Russian. And Paul Walker responds, it cuts to Paul Walker losing his mind.
While he's driving at like 60 miles an hour
he's
down some
looking at
city
Oleg.
street.
He goes, you're not a Russian, you're an American because you were born in the USA. Fucking say it. Say I'm an American. Say I'm an American right now. Oleg finds this very charming, actually. He says he gives him a little smile.
It's still Paul Walker and Oleg screaming in the car. He spots the pimp Big Mac Daddy, whatever we want to call him now.
That's Dr. Big Mac Daddy to you. Say his full name.
Dr. Pimp Big Mac Daddy.
Paging Dr. Pimp Big Mac. Paging.
Tommy, Johnny Salami, I don't even know, the guy that looks like the dude from 51st Dates. They pull up.
It's the guy from, you know that guy, the guy that's on the guy from The Walking Dead.
Which guy?
Abraham.
No shit. Wow. Okay.
Right? Is it Abraham?
Yeah. No, Abraham.
Yeah.
That makes, now that I see the face, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, it's Abraham.
So Abraham and
he will now be
Tommy,
Abraham.
Johnny Salami, whatever his fucking name is, they
Tommy
pull
Johnny
up
Salami.
behind him.
Paging Dr. Pimp Mac Daddy.
Right as soon as that's happening, Johnny Salami and Abraham pull up behind Paul Walker and Oleg, and they're like, who the fuck's this kid, huh? Is this the little Russian shit we've been hearing so much trouble about? Mm-hmm. So they make Paul Walker get in the car with
Oleg.
Yeah, they both get in the Abraham's car. They drive over to this weird train station yard, and they're on the phone. Johnny Salami Tommy is talking to the big mob boss Frankie, where he's then trying to, I guess, do like a fake out against Paul Walker, Mr. Dr. Joey Gazelle, where he's like, yeah, we're gonna take care of him real quick. They do that little mobster thing where they're like, yeah, we're gonna go shoot this guy in the face. Tommy Johnny Salami shoots Abraham in the face.
Well, you skipped a very important part. Tommy calls Paul Walker the N-word.
Oh, yep. Okay. Forgot that. Very momentous occasion.
You forgot.
For the 12th N-bomb
time.
drop for this movie or some shit.
For no reason. I don't get it.
Absolutely no reason.
It's literally like that scene in Pulp Fiction where Quentin Tarantino says the N-word.
For no reason.
And we're all like, what?
I think he just loves saying it, and he's just using his movies as an excuse.
Quentin Tarantino was consulted on this movie. I don't care what anyone says.
Quentin Tarantino is an uncredited producer on this movie.
He's a ghostwriter. So Johnny Salami shoots Abraham because apparently he was also running a side gig, but they're still sus about Paul Walker.
They still don't know if he's
They're
good.
just less sus now because I guess they're comfortable doing covert mob business right in front of him and filling him in on all the dirt for some reason.
That's actually a great point.
just
Why the
kinda-
fuck didn't he just shoot him? He's been with him all night. They've been driving in the same car, Abraham and Tony John.
He had plenty. I think he wanted Paul Walker to know.
Who gives a shit? Because then
I don't know. Maybe let his guard down for a little bit.
who gives a fuck? Because then 15 minutes later, they literally drive to the place they're gonna kill Paul Walker at. They take Paul Walker to this place to kill Abraham, and then they bring Paul Walker to the place where he's gonna die. They bring Paul Walker and Oleg to this ice rink. This is
This was the coolest scene in the movie, but also the scene that made me.
nah, bro. They're here to kill Paul Walker basically. So it's Frankie and the Italians, and then I'm gonna assume this guy's name is Yuri. It's Yuri and the Russians, and they're having a meeting. Yuri owns this skating rink.
Again,
and
there's hockey practice going on during this.
They're
There's
evil
some
hockey
dudes,
players.
They're super evil Russian mob hockey players.
They're Russian mob hockey.
It's like what time does it have to be at this point?
It's 3 a.m. at least. They've been going for since 7 a.m. Oh, you know what? Absolutely, bro. They're cutting drugs at 7 a.m. They got busted in on.
This is all the same day.
This is the same day. They bring Paul Walker over. Oh, this is the best. Oh my god, I wrote notes. I wrote notes about this. So they push Paul Walker into the middle of the ice rink, and they start shooting hockey pucks off his face.
The hockey players take turns. The hockey equivalent of a layup, I guess. I don't know. They're running up and slapping a shot into his face.
I would imagine, bro, if I got hit with a hockey puck from a hockey player, I would die immediately.
Oh my god! Like that would.
It would cave the front of my forehead in.
The amount of blood that was pouring off of Paul Walker's face.
He's drowning in it.
He's like he's slurping
He's-
the blood off of the ice.
I told you I don't know anything. I fucking told you. Fuck you. Boom,
this
hockey
was
puck.
the most, and they're just slamming hockey pucks into his face.
Oh my god, that was awesome. I wrote a note about it. I made sure to note that.
Absolutely.
That shit was hilarious. So they try to get Oleg's dad to shoot Oleg.
Yeah, Oleg's dad has been riding around with, I guess that's his
Yuri.
dad or his uncle or something. I don't know.
He's got his own son at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me hear you call John Wayne the F word again. He's like,
The Duke.
He's the Duke. Let me hear you call the Duke the
Say
F word.
something bad
Say-
about the Duke.
And Oleg's like, no.
Like, fuck you, dude. What the fuck are you doing here?
So the dad can't shoot him. So he takes off all his clothes and he starts to walk away from.
This was like, honestly, I thought this was a really cool shot because it has like that film, like that old school film strip filter they throw on it.
Do they?
Yeah, it was like this whole cool like sequence they did.
All
and
right.
then like he gets to recreate this was his character arc, I guess. He's this obsessed with John Wayne. He gets to
he's
die
not-
like John
he's-
Wayne. I don't even know.
He's not a good person. He just really likes John Wayne. He didn't redeem himself. He just likes John Wayne.
And then as he's walking away for some reason, this is how they did it in that John Wayne movie.
Yeah.
The Russian guy shoots him in the back. Conveniently,
In both- yeah.
both eyes on the John Wayne tattoo on this guy's back. He
Fucking
gets
up.
shot in the eyes on his fucking back.
Fucking sweet. So this guy
So then
dies.
they're on the ice. The dad is dead. They just kind of like yada yada over that. Nobody's paying attention to him anymore. And then this whole big shootout basically erupts between. I think Paul Walker breaks loose from.
No, I remember. He says he lies and he says that Frankie was gonna betray the Russian dude this whole
Yes.
time, and the guy's like, "Hey, I don't." He's like, he told me to whack the Russian to get the kid to whack the meth
Yep.
head.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even live in that fucking neighborhood. Why the fuck would I care if there's a meth head? So anyway, the Russians and the Italians get into a shootout.
Which is just like the shootout at the beginning of the movie where you have no idea what's going on the entire time. They're all within like, I don't know, 10, 15 feet of each other. And nobody is shooting anybody.
Blasting away.
They're just...
Tommy slip slides across the ice, and then he gets a shotgun shell to his stomach.
Yeah.
He dies first. Everybody kills everybody.
And then the Russian guy and Frankie end up... I think the Russian
they-
guy shoots Frankie, or Frankie shoots the Russian guy.
Frankie shoots the Russian guy. They wrestle a little bit. They give each other a couple kisses. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Frankie's holding Paul Walker at gunpoint on the ice.
Oh, and then he's out of
with
bullets.
the shotgun. And then Mr. Oleg comes up out of nowhere with another gun. This dude is a stone cold killer. He's ready to attempt to shoot his second victim in this movie.
Oleg's a murderer.
Absolutely.
Oleg's done this before, and he'll do it again.
You can, if you pause it right as he's holding the gun, there's a third emotion for Oleg. It is the absolute serial killer face.
There's a third emotion, and it's a lack of emotion. It's when he's about to kill.
And then Frankie's pleading for his life.
But we did skip over the most important part of this movie.
Oh, God. How could we?
So Frankie's got Paul Walker at gunpoint, and
Yep.
Paul Walker rips open his clothes, and he's got a wire on.
Paul Walker.
Are you shocked? Are you flabbergasted?
Honestly, at this point, I kind of was. I was not ready for the 17th twist of this movie.
For the record, I was shocked, but that doesn't make it not dumb.
Yeah, Paul Walker has been an undercover agent he doesn't actually reveal who he's with. He just says, I've been undercover for 12 years.
He's been undercover for 12 years. His own
Not
wife,
even
his
my
own wife
wife
doesn't know.
knows. It was...
So Paul Walker has just been committing crime.
Yeah, not a good guy. Like, this is unexcusable for...
This is not how... Dude,
This is some kind of deep cover cartel assignment gone wrong.
what the fuck could be going on that this is allowed, bro? What kind of fucking operation is he trying to...
This is the Reagan administration going on over here,
Holy
man.
shit. That must be when this takes place. It takes place in the 80s.
It takes place in 1984. Because Paul Walker is a...
They killed a bunch of people in the beginning of the movie.
Yes!
And they turned out to be cops.
Yes! Completely excusable when you're an undercover FBI agent.
So what department is handling this? Because they killed a bunch of cops.
It's above your pay grade, all right, guy? I'm Johnny Salami, all right?
I'm the fucking dude. You're just the guy. So Paul Walker, he turns out to be a cop. So he's like, you kill me, it'll be the last thing you do. We got you hook, line, and sinker. You're going away for a long time.
You're going away here, guy.
Hey,
and then
dude.
Oleg comes in clutch, aims the gun at Frankie.
Does he even shoot him, or does Frankie just
No.
die?
And then Paul Walker wrestles as Frankie is he's distracted
yeah.
by Oleg. Paul Walker grabs the shotgun out of his hand, throws Frankie on the ground, and I'm assuming blows his head off from the amount of blood that sprays all over Paul Walker.
And now that I know he's a cop,
Yeah, and now on top of that, he's an undercover cop, and
he just murders this guy.
shot another guy.
So you clearly just disarmed him,
And
he
then-
blows him away.
And then they get out of the ice rink, the black light lit ice rink, just in time for a bunch of cops to roll up and I guess Paul Walker's FBI buddies to pull up.
Dude, where
They're
the
like,
fuck have
hey,
they...
we're here for you, man. We lost track of you, but the helicopter saw your Mustang come here.
Dude,
Which means the FBI's been in on this the whole time.
So
They
why-
knew...
why the fuck is he looking for this fucking gun the whole day, all day? You're not
guess-
in the fucking gang.
I guess he needed the last bit of evidence to really nail Frankie and Tommy.
What evidence?
and-
What evidence?
Hey man, I don't. He's been recording these guys for months, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You were in the room when you guys killed 3 cops. Send them to jail. What are you talking about? Why are you?
Hey, listen. It's a deep cover mob operation. All
This
right?
guy
You
is
don't-
just a criminal.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
They're talking to the FBI guys, and then Paul Walker's like, "Yeah, they're all dead. I'm taking him to his mom. The kid needs something to eat."
Hey, bro, you gotta go to the hospital. We gotta get a statement. What are you talking about,
Paul
bro?
Walker is bleeding. He just lost 1.5 gallons of blood from all those hockey pucks.
Bro,
and then his
your cranium is cracked. I can see it on the outside. He's like, I'm going
then it-
home.
He's like, I got family.
I got family at home. I'm going.
And then all of a sudden it just cuts to them driving and it's daytime, which means they're on day 2 of this kidnapping extravaganza. And then he's like, hey, Nikki wanted food. Let's go get you food.
Let's go get
Because,
some
it's a different kid. I'm imagining, hey, kids eat food. Kids like that.
And who happens to walk into this diner?
And then they
You
pull
know
up
what?
to
You
the
know
diner.
this movie is in Jersey because all they do is sit around in diners. That's very,
They got ice rinks, diners. I don't even know.
crime.
I don't think they mentioned the beach at all, but I think that's all Jersey has going. And then they're eating breakfast. Paul Walker has lost 3 gallons of blood by this point.
Yeah, but he drank some orange orange juice.
He drank some OJ, washed his face off. He's good as new.
Paging Dr. Mac Daddy Pimp, sir.
So Oleg goes to leave while Paul Walker's paying at the counter.
Paul Walker throws pocket sand at him. He's like pretending to like not see him.
Hold on, let me rewind this. I think he threw money at him.
He pretends to not see him.
He's doing the whole fake out thing, and then he's staring at the grounds. Those are either sugar packets or like crumbled up dollar bills. He goes not so fast. He pocket sands this dude, gets the knife out of his hands,
and then what gun?
He's just beating the shit out of this guy. And then he goes to pull the revolver out of Dr. Big Mac Daddy's pants. And then Dr. Mac Daddy pulls out the gun that Paul Walker's been looking for.
The gun.
And
Paul Walker's got the knife. He's pointing the knife at Big Mac Daddy Pimp. And Big Mac Daddy Pimp is pointing the revolver at Paul Walker. And Paul Walker's like, you do not want to. He's like, the last thing you want to do is fucking shoot me. He's like, put the fucking gun down. And the pimp's like, he's like, what did he say? He's like, I'm a Big Mac Daddy Pimp. Bitch.
I just looked up his guy. His name is David Warhofsky, and his name is Lester the Pimp.
Oh,
that is his official name. That's weird because that's a really weird way to spell Big Mac Daddy Pimp.
It must be Swedish.
It's some kind of Swedish spelling or something.
Come on.
You know the Oakley sunglasses that he put on? Those like
huge,
thin frames.
Oh no, the thin ones. Yeah.
The thin blue lensed ones.
Yeah.
I shit you not, I own those sunglasses. They were my mom's from like the early 2000s. And then when I first started wearing contacts, she gave them to me to go play paintball with.
Bro.
You remember those?
Yeah.
Bro, those are the same fucking sunglasses.
Fucking sick. Oh, he literally goes, say hello to my little friend. And Paul Walker's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Real original guy.
And he's like, say hello to my little friend. And Paul Walker's like, real fucking original. What are you, a fucking cartoon? And the guy goes, I'm a Mac Daddy Pimp, bitch. And he goes, and now I'm going to cap your ass. I want to make it clear that he says it like that.
Yeah, no, you're not stretching anything here.
So shots ring out. Paul Walker, I'm assuming, stabs this guy to death, but not before we cut back to the original scene that the movie opened with. Oleg's in the car. He's got blood all over him. Paul Walker's driving frantically.
But then Oleg lifts his shirt up and he's not shot. Bum, bum, bum. And then Paul Walker also lifts his shirt up and he got shot. And then he's doing 80 miles an hour down the fucking road while bleeding.
I was literally cracking up during this scene because Paul Walker's shot. And he's like literally passing out at the wheel.
He's swerving all over the fucking road. He hits a dude on a bicycle.
And Oleg, the whole time, he's just like, hey, please pull over.
He's like, Joey, pull over.
Joey,
pull over.
You're bleeding. We need to get you help. Please stop.
And then intercut into Paul Walker bleeding out and doing 100,000 miles an hour down the road in his car is Oleg's mom crying and rocking in a shed and I'm assuming a propane tank that she cranks all the way open.
Well, they got a whole meth lab in the back of their...
They do. Yeah, I forgot about the meth lab. That was a pretty glossed over part in this. And then it cuts to Nikki and Paul Walker's wife. I forgot her name. And then Oleg's mom is dead. Huge explosion.
She blew herself up. So Paul Walker crashes into the front lawn.
It's a big happy family reunion.
Oleg gets out.
Not for Oleg.
He's watching his house burn down. Paul Walker tumbles out of the car. He lays in his wife's arms. He's dying before her very eyes. And what do Paul Walker, his wife, and his kids start talking about?
The New Jersey Razors.
The hockey game.
They're gonna go to on Friday night. That was such like a poorly done plot along this whole movie.
There's a hockey game,
where they're like, "Hey, go Razors!" And then
it's gonna be blue body bags or something.
Blood on the ice.
Blood on ice.
Body bags.
And Paul Walker's like, "We're gonna kick their asses, right, Nick?"
We're gonna kick their ass.
He's like, "Yeah, Dad."
This was like the most drawn out death scene ever. Paul Walker, he was dying in the car 5 minutes before this.
No.
And then he's back up and he's like full of energy and still dying.
You weren't kidding when you said everything in this movie happens within like a 5-mile radius, because Paul Walker is able to get shot and drive to his house.
Exactly. Within a couple of minutes.
He's been in the car for 5 minutes.
And then Paul Walker's 10-year-old son, 11 max, I think he said he was 10 in the movie. His 10-year-old son automatically knows to comfort his father in his final moments. Like, hey, we're going to that game. We're going to be fine. I can't wait.
He gives him like the you hold him in the arms and
exactly. At 10 years old, the mom is sobbing.
Hey, Dad, we're gonna go to that game Friday. Don't you worry, bud.
And then it's a funeral. They're folding the American flag over a casket.
Press F to pay respects.
You got to press F. They give the flag to Paul Walker's wife. Oleg is there. Paul Walker's dead.
They moved to a rural farm in what I can only assume is like rural Pennsylvania.
And then she somehow bought this really nice farmland in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Well, he's got that cop pension.
True, but day after he's dead,
went out
bought
on
the thing.
3/4.
And then in the backgrounds, as they're all at this big happy farm, you see Paul Walker's Mustang is back there, and you're like, that's weird, that got crashed. And then Paul Walker walks out of the garage. They do a dumb little don't ever make me bury you again. So Paul Walker is alive and an FBI agent at the same time.
And he's in witness protection, I'm assuming.
Because, he was single-handedly involved in crippling 2 different mafias.
So now he lives on a farm with his family and Oleg. Oleg is part of their family now, too.
He's still beating his son, by the way. With an American flag.
He beats Oleg now because his dad isn't there to do it.
Somebody's got to pick up the slack.
Somebody's got to beat this kid, all right? And I'm not going to let it go undone.
And then my favorite thing about this whole movie is the freeze frame ending.
Frame.
What the fuck?
Paul Walker nuzzles his little kids. He's scratching them on the head. He goes, "Hey, you little scamp, get over here. Come on, we're going to that." They're still talking about the same.
They're still talking about the hockey game Friday night, man.
So
this has to be Monday morning.
This happened. No. The whole thing happened on a Monday, and it's Tuesday now, and they still got this game on fucking Friday.
Wow. Paul Walker died Tuesday morning. They buried him Tuesday afternoon.
He's working on the car Tuesday 6 p.m. And that is Running Scared.
Yeah, wow.
So let's find out what the real critics had to say about this movie. Quote, speaking of movies that go over the top, Running Scared goes so far over the top, it circumnavigates the top and doubles back onto itself. It's the Mobius strip of over-the-topness. Roger Ebert from RogerEbert.com. And, quote, presumably patterned after Robert Rodriguez's Sin City, but substantially more graphic, there is surely an audience for this empty brutality, but you would not want to know anyone to whom this picture appeals. From Hap Ernstein on Rotten Tomatoes. Zach, this movie holds a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, but is it really that bad?
Yeah, no, it really is that bad.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be rated worse on Rotten Tomatoes.
So was I. When I saw it was 41%, I was surprised.
Because
a 2 out of 5 is about a 40%.
Okay, all right. So the math checks out. I ran the numbers. Everything checks out.
Quick, carried the one. All I see are numbers.
Just zeros and ones everywhere.
Zeros and ones. I see in the Matrix. I would give it a 2 out of 5 too. The only reason it even gets to a 2 is because it's so Paul Walker fucking screaming for 2 hours is so funny. There's so many bad things in this movie. It's so funny that I can give it a 2 out of 5. So I think
it's like an unintentional comedy movie.
It's
just
crazy, bro. So I think a 40% is pretty good. This is the part of the show where we would read some listener mail if we had any.
It is our first episode, so if you guys have any critiques, any episodes you want us to do in the future, any questions, any complaints, shoot us an email. Write us a little mini letter.
Yeah, just tell me to kill myself on the internet. It's fine.
You can absolutely bully us if you want. We're kind of up for anything.
We're open to communication. So I'll get an email and some socials set up if this goes anywhere, so you guys can reach out to us. Thanks for listening. Please tune in next time where we will be reviewing Bloodshot, starring Vin Diesel. If you like the show, please feel free to leave us a good review on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you happen to be listening to this podcast. If you are so inclined, we will be making socials soon so that info will be available in the next episode. Once again, thanks for listening to the show, and we'll see you next time.